You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the Chicago Bears stadium situation and the fact that we all get to relish in a brooding and budding feud between arguably the worst governor in the United States against arguably the worst mayor in the United States. We got a J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson warfare. We got a nuclear situation going on over the Bears stadium. Now, to be real, I think it's a wrap for Chicago. They are not keeping the Bears. So, obviously, and I think J.B. Pritzker, rightfully so, knows this, and he's blaming Brandon Johnson for dragging his feet. Don't blame him. Brandon Johnson's shown no real urgency in trying to keep the Bears in the city. None. It's not, in my opinion, it's not even really part of his agenda. And Pritzker calls him out for essentially sort of ignoring the issue for too long. Dragging his feet, yada, yada, yada. We talked about this in other videos. So they've got a war of words going on at this point now. And all with the backdrop of, check this out. Chicago Bears Stadium plans on agenda for NFL owners meetings. All right. So this is going to get moving even quicker than it's going right now. Pritzker.
I know that the mayor has no plan. He has come up with no plan at all about how the Bears would end up in the city of Chicago, so that's problematic.
Damn!
I'd love them to be in the city, but we're 3 years in now, and he still has no plan. And in fact, this
got to be more careful. Woo!
This is kind of typical. The mayor has shown up every spring at the end of session to pronounce what he would like to see happen. And as you know, the budget gets put together starting in November. I present my budget, well, really we start at the beginning of a fiscal year, but about in November, we're in the details of the budget. I present that budget to the legislature in February. So that seems like a good time period to come talk to the governor's office. Then there's February to May. There's all that time to come talk to the legislature, which has my
Brandon Johnson, no urgency. That seems like a good time. Motherfucker never showed up.
Budget in hand, or the governor's office. Again, we've seen almost nothing out of the mayoral administration here on that subject, or really any other. And so to show up in May and have a bunch of demands seems like late in the game, and it's unfortunate that's happened most years.
Wow. How in the hell does this state, and particularly these residents, keep voting these people in the office? It's unreasonable. It's unreal. They said, let's see if we can find somebody worse than Lori Lightfoot. I did not know that was possible. Johnson is sort of trying to come back here.
The Bears Stadium. And Arlington Heights leaders say things are moving in the right direction for them, which is not good news for Mayor Johnson.
They have now only two options, and that's the state of Indiana or Arlington Heights.
Two cities.
He's saying it's a wrap.
These are on the table for the next Bears Stadium, and Chicago isn't one of them. But Mayor Brandon Johnson hasn't given up. He's pitched
And Chicago is not one of them.
the idea of giving Chicago more control of the Illinois Sports Facilities Authority as a way to keep the team. But Governor Pritzker says it's a non-starter.
He has come up with no plan at all about how the Bears would end up in the city of Chicago, so that's problematic. I'd love them to be in the city, but we're 3 years in now, and he still has no plan.
In response, Johnson's office says it doesn't support a privately owned stadium, and the city's proposal is the only plan centered on public ownership that won't burden property taxpayers while keeping the Bears in Chicago. Meanwhile, in Springfield, lawmakers continue to debate the mega projects bill, which would give the Bears the property tax breaks they want in order to move to Arlington Heights. Who else wants a seat at that negotiating table? The mayors of nearby Palatine, Rolling Meadows, and Schaumburg.
Our top concerns are traffic. Our top concerns are making sure that the people who live in Rolling Meadows are not suffering because there's a stadium that was poorly planned.
She's concerned the traffic study around the site still isn't done. The mayors expect Route 53 will be the main route to get to the stadium, and
The problem is you got a bunch of people involved that don't give a shit about the history of the Bears, what it means to the area. They don't care about sports, particularly men's sports. Let's be real. We know what's up.
They believe improvements will need to be made, specifically around these 6 interchanges.
You're not just building a stadium at that point. I mean, you're looking at, you got to bring in the water for something that large. You've got sewer pipes that have got to be potentially expanded. How is that going to happen?
And I just spoke with Arlington Heights Mayor Jim Tenalia. He says he is confident that leaders in Springfield will come to an agreement by May 31st. That's the deadline. He says the Senate is being very careful and working together with the House to reach a deal that both chambers are on board with, Stefan.
I mean, let's be real here. If this was Chicago and the WNBA wanted to come in, Brandon Johnson would be bent over backwards trying to get the WNBA, get them an arena or some situation where they could play ball. Quit voting these people in. Between something like voting this way is losing you the Bears. The Chicago Bears are leaving Chicago because you keep voting these radical leftists in the office. Combine that with the fact that everybody's just getting murdered up there. Let's be honest. Quit voting this way. My God. Tuesday could mark the next step towards a new Chicago Bears stadium. The NFL owners' meetings begin Tuesday in Chicago, and the Chicago Bears Stadium is on the agenda. Bears CEO Kevin Warren said the team will have a decision on new plans by, quote, late spring, early summer. We're here. We're here. The Bears are planning to provide the NFL with an update on the future of the league at the league meetings. The team has said Arlington Heights and Hammond, Indiana are the only options. J.B. Pritzker just said they're the only 2 options. So the team is saying that, Pritzker's saying that, Brandon Johnson on the outside looking in. If he's even looking in. I don't think he gives a shit. If they do stay in the state, Governor J.B. Pritzker says that it will be Arlington Heights at the former racetrack property the team owns. If it's not there, they will pursue the offer from Indiana to build a stadium in Hammond. I mean, that's... Wow. Wow. I've been calling it. I've been saying Brandon Johnson's going to blow this whole thing for Chicago, and, well, here we are. The 11th hour. Look, when the Bears and Pritzker are both saying there's 2 options and Chicago's not one, it's over. It's absolutely over. Another fumble. Fumble! Vote these people out of office. Start voting in people that care about capitalism a little bit and care about money and wants the area to thrive and grow and make money and infrastructure and restaurants and hospitality and all that. And my God, quit voting people involved with the cancerous teachers unions. Crying out loud. Tell me what you think. Who would have ever thought Beetlejuice, Lori Lightfoot, would be a better mayor than Brandon Johnson? Should have realized it. I mean, she was the worst mayor until he showed up and took her throne and then turned the volume up on 10. Even she didn't cost the Bears for Chicago. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.